And like, you know, I don't want to be ruled by fear. I don't think anyone wants to be ruled by fear. Nobody wants to be ruled by fear. It flew away. It's like, that's the thing, you know, I don't fear what happens. Like, you know, my face has been put out there, you know, I don't care about being anonymous or whatnot. If they want to get me, they'll get me, you know. Somehow they haven't gotten me yet, like, you know, because, you know, it's that inner faith and everything, or that love, you know, that I have. Like, if they do come for me, you know, like, I don't know, but I don't fear. I don't fear. I really don't care, you know, like, crazy things have happened since, you know, I was made aware. Like, nothing happens for no reason. Everything's a coincidence. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I wonder sometimes, like, you know, like, why would they go through so much trouble, like, you know, to try and influence me? And then that right there, like, shows me that, you know, there's something not real about all of this, in a sense. Like, there's some sort of unreality about it all, or maybe that's what they want me to think, you know. Maybe all these things I'm seeing, they're like beaming it directly into my head. I have no idea, you know. Or maybe, because, you know, you can't really trust the mind. It's the heart, you know. It's the heart. That's your measuring tool of discernment. When that and the mind connects, you know, you can start seeing through the veils. Like, look there, sun shining, such a bright, blinding light. But, you know, like, what is the truth? Like, if you think you know the truth, then the truth is perhaps maybe you don't know, in a sense, because, like, I'm aware of certain things. And, like, even now, like, look, my thoughts, like, I'm having a hard time, you know, like, explaining them, because maybe that's them, you know. That's them. Like, you know, all that mind control stuff, like, it's potentially real, you know. Or not potentially real. Like, but then again, it goes back to, is this just a manifestation of what I've put in? And everything, and you see, and there lies the conundrum, you know. It's that infinite loop and everything. 1 second it's like, oh, you know, don't focus on all that horrible thoughts, like, you know, harps trying to create an earthquake or something. But then, yet I hear, like, other people, you know, this is something that's very real to them, and, like, you know, that I cannot ignore. You know, like, is there a conspiracy afoot in this world, or is this conspiracy just within our own heads, our own creation, and we're somehow manifesting it? You know, that's the thing. But the truth is, we have the power. We have the power to put a stop to it. All we gotta do is say, you know what? This game sucks. This game sucks, you know. Like, you know, I have people telling me, you know, you gotta go get a job, you know, you gotta go to school or get a job. What are you gonna do with your life? Like, what am I gonna do with my life? Like, you know, it doesn't matter what I'm going to do with my life, you know. It's not about what I do. What I do with my life, that's my choice, you know. You know, I will never go along with any plans for death or destruction, no matter what, you know. The system, in a sense, is corrupt and rotted to the core. You know, they know it. They know it. People know it. And, like, people need to be made aware. But, like, the thing is, like, sometimes you know, what I don't like, you know, is, like, the thought that, what is it going to have to take before people start waking up to this reality? Like, you know, it's startling. It's startling, you know. I tried to show some people the truth, but it's like, oh, no, I'm not paying attention to that. Like, you know, I showed one, like, I had 2 friends, you know, I was showing one, I said, you know, what would you know if, like, if you knew about a possible, just a possible plot to potentially murder millions, if not billions of people, would you really remain quiet about that? And he said no, and he started watching it. And then the other friend, he passes him a cell phone, and he looks at it, and then he turns back to me and says, oh, so what was this pertaining to again? And then someone else, the guy's dad, comes over, and he's like, oh, like, what is this you guys watching there? And they're showing like, you know, like them FEMA coffins and everything, and he chuckles to himself, oh, I've seen that before. They put beer in it. Ah! Like, whoa. You know, I've seen patent documents, like, they're really going to be storing, you know, beer in disposable cremation containers. Like, that's something to think about. Like, when you look at, like, these people, the sheeple in this world, I don't judge them, you know, like, you know, I don't want to judge them, you know, because I love them and everything, but, like, deep inside, like, something's not right when I see that. Something's not right. People, like, they rather, like, you know, is that because maybe they're scared or something, you know? I don't know. I don't want people to be scared, but what is it going to take? Is it, like, you know, sometimes I wonder, you know, I don't want this to happen. We can prevent it, you know, if just people become more aware to what's really happening, you know, or what might or might not be happening. You see, that's the thing. Maybe, like, what if it was a good thing they weren't paying attention, you know, because they don't want to be a part of the manifestation, trying to manifest this thing. But, you know, I don't know. Like, you see, that's that conundrum. Like, they planned this thing out so well, like our enemies, in a sense. They've planned it down to, like, the T and everything, or, like, you know, they've dotted every I and everything. Like, they got it scripted out. Like, they have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. Like, you go down the alphabet, you know, they've thought it out. It's about trying to stay one step ahead, in a sense, trying to unravel this big puzzle. Like, you know, I don't want anything bad to happen. I know it doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen, but then, like, you know, there's also the opposite of that. Like, sometimes I wonder, like, what is it going to take to get these people to start waking up to the reality, you know, the illusions, the lies, the truth about all of this? Like, what is it going to take? Is it going to have to take, like, you know, millions of people, boom, dead in one stroke before they say, oh, you know, maybe something was really going on? Like, is that really what it's going to have to take? Like, that's something we need to ask ourselves, you know. Like, that's something we need to ask ourselves, you know. I don't think it needs to take that. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. But it's, like, you know, it's a hard task, you know. This is a hard task, trying to make people aware, but, you know, is it, like, you know, is it really good enough that I may know